Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. It's interesting, since this is January 23rd, the last day before the release of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. And interesting, I've been looking at some websites, multiple different websites, third party, all different independent ones as well, all over the United States and Europe and Australia and a bunch of other countries, and looking at their reviews of Resident Evil 7. It's really 50-50. It's kind of like either you love it or you hate it. It's that kind of a review. And a couple of examples here I want to show is the IGN. Now, keep in mind, IGN here, it's reviewed by Chloe Rad, and, this is her opinion, so, she has a right to that opinion, but just because she has her opinion and she didn't like certain things doesn't mean that you're not going to like certain things. So I just like people to keep that in check. Just because some other person gave their own opinion on the review doesn't mean that you're not going to like it. All right? This is why I never give that too much thought on reviews, but on this case, because it's a very anticipated game, I felt like, hey, let's go through some of the reviews. Let's see what they said. And the one interesting thing is, the one thing she didn't like on this review is the fact that, okay, spoilers alert, there's these monsters. When you finish, in the first 2 quarters of the game, with, I guess, the Spencer family, when you finish with them and you go into this basement and then you encounter these monsters are very bland and they're very boring. She didn't like that. But I think the reason those monsters was put there was mainly because of the VR. They want to give that VR experience, and I think that's why they were there. And also to give that signature feel of Resident Evil, so that way it's still a Resident Evil game. But it wasn't a big deal, she still gave it a good score. It's right here. Let's go to the second page. I'm going to show it to you. She still gave it a good score right here. There it is, 7.7 out of 10, which is still good. It doesn't mean the game is bad. It's just not what she was expecting it to be. Like she said here, Resident Evil 7, it's a fresh take on the Resident Evil series that fondly recalls the classics, even as it takes a bold new direction. And here, when we go to a GameSpot website, we'll see that they seem to like it. This is by Scott Butterworth. That's an interesting name. Scott Butterworth. And he gave it a great. Gave it 8. He mentioned the goods right here. Tight focus limits the amount of filler. Strong narrative, intense atmosphere, which I agree. Upsetting amount of visual detail. Excellent variety thanks to the different family members and playable flashbacks. Remember, there's also DLCs. When you get that deluxe edition, there's a bunch of DLCs. 3 different tapes you can replay and stuff. The only thing he didn't like was the certain section drag. Some boss battles prove more annoying than intense. Enemies could be smaller and more capable. Puzzles go largely forgotten. So it's kind of like half and half. Mostly reviews are good for Resident Evil 7, and majority of ones that I went through, they all gave it a great score. It's definitely a new, fresh reinvestment into a series, but the only negative that I know, it's not a negative, the only complaint that I've noticed from all the other websites that I went through about Resident Evil 7 is these monsters. And okay, this is not even a spoiler. I'm sure everybody knows that when you go to that basement, you're going to bump into these ridiculous, annoying monsters, but they are not the key importance of the game. The key importance of the game, obviously, I'm not going to spoil it to you. I know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. It has to do something with the phone. That's as much as I'm going to tell you. So all in all, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna pick up a PlayStation 4 Pro version. Obviously, the reason being I'm gonna pick up the PlayStation 4 Pro version because it has HDR and upscale checkerboard dynamic resolution. All right, I don't know exact resolution. I'll have to check with Digital Foundry, let them test it. They're professionals. They have the equipment. Am I gonna bother with the PC version? I mean, I really don't know. Is there any point getting the PC version, because PC version doesn't really, it doesn't have HDR. It doesn't even support VR. The only thing that supports is just the graphics, but I don't think you're going to see that much of a difference between PlayStation 4 Pro and the PC version. Obviously, you can run PlayStation 4. Obviously, I'm sorry, you can run PC version at native 4K, so you get advantage of that, but you don't get the HDR. You don't get the VR. So to me, I think the definitive version would be the PlayStation 4 Pro version, and they designed Resident Evil 7 for PlayStation 4 in mind to begin with, and then they went, obviously third party. So what I'm gonna do basically is I'm gonna get PlayStation 4 Pro version and the Xbox One S version, because I want to see the HDR, the difference between the two, how the HDR is gonna look on obviously when I do these videos you guys won't be able to see the HDR, but I'm gonna let you know the difference between the Xbox One S version HDR and PlayStation 4 Pro HDR. We'll see how they stacked up. Obviously I think personally that PlayStation 4 Pro version will benefit better HDR because of the high resolution, and Xbox One S version is gonna suffer on that because of the lower resolution, and of course this little sacrifice on the textures. So, but that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Anyway, so this was just a short video of me kind of like I was just curious to see what you guys think. I went to a bunch of other reviewers, YouTube reviewers, and for the most part everyone gave it a great review. For the most part everyone likes it. The only complaint that everyone's been giving is these boring monsters. They're like in the basement. But like I said, that's just something they put on there so you can use that gun and so you can have that VR experience on PlayStation VR, And that's it. This is not a review. This is just like a little overview. Me looking at the other people's reviews and what they're saying. Always keep in mind, guys, when you're looking at someone's review, it's just their opinion. Now, if there's a lot of reviewers out there that they're giving the same opinion, then you can guarantee that it's a bad game. But overall, this is it's a great start for Resident Evil 7, and I think this the franchise is really taking a great turn into a new direction, which I like that. I think it's about time that they let the old characters stay in the past, let them be in the past, and let's move forward with the new type of Resident Evil. So I like what Capcom is doing. All right, guys. So remember, we'll be doing this comparison tomorrow, and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday. We'll be doing a bunch of comparisons. I might do Yakuza 0 as well. I heard it's supposed to be really good. And then Gravity Rush 2, I might do that as well. I'm not sure if Gravity Rush supports PlayStation 4 Pro patch. I don't think so, but we'll see. Alright guys, so I'll see you on the Resident Evil comparison videos tomorrow on my Samsung KS8000 television set.